Picture this, a stadium floating in the vast expanse of space, surrounded by the shimmering glow of distant stars. Athletes, clad in sleek, futuristic gear, soar through zero gravity, defying the limits of human potential. The crowd, a mix of Earthlings and space colonists, erupts in cheers as a player scores the winning goal in a game of zero-gravity football. This isn't science fiction, it's the future of sports. Welcome to a world where the boundaries of entertainment and human achievement are pushed beyond Earth, into the cosmos. Today, we're diving into 25 detailed predictions about the future of space-based sports and competitions, exploring how these groundbreaking innovations could revolutionize the way we play, compete, and connect. From lunar basketball to interplanetary relay races, these futuristic sports aren't just about fun, they're about redefining what it means to be human in an era of interstellar exploration. So, buckle up and get ready to imagine a future where the stars are the ultimate playing field. By the end of this video, you'll see how space-based sports could become the next frontier of entertainment, uniting humanity across planets and galaxies. Let's take the leap together. Now, let's kick things off with our first prediction: zero-gravity football. Imagine a game where players aren't bound by gravity, soaring through the air with jetpacks strapped to their backs and magnetic boots anchoring them to the playing surface. This isn't just football, it's football reimagined for the cosmos. In zero-gravity environments, the rules of the game would need a complete overhaul. For starters, the field itself would likely be a spherical or cylindrical arena, allowing players to move in all directions. Scoring goals could involve targeting floating hoops or magnetic zones, adding a whole new layer of strategy to the game. Players would rely on jetpacks for propulsion, giving them the ability to dart through the air with precision. Magnetic boots would help them stay grounded when needed, but the real challenge would be mastering the art of movement in three-dimensional space. Passing and tackling would become far more dynamic, with players needing to anticipate not just horizontal but also vertical movements. The gameplay would be faster, more unpredictable, and visually stunning, with athletes flipping, spinning, and gliding through the air like never before. But adapting football to zero gravity isn't without its challenges. Players would need to train extensively to handle the physical demands of microgravity, from maintaining balance to avoiding disorientation. Equipment would have to be specially designed to withstand the unique conditions of space, and safety protocols would be critical to prevent collisions or injuries in such a high-speed, high-stakes environment. Despite these hurdles, zero-gravity football has the potential to become one of the most thrilling sports of the future, blending the excitement of traditional football with the awe-inspiring possibilities of space. As we move forward, this sport could redefine what it means to be an athlete, pushing the boundaries of human agility, coordination, and teamwork. And with that, let's float into our next prediction, where we'll explore another groundbreaking concept: orbital marathon races. Now, let's shift our focus to a sport that takes endurance to new heights, literally. Orbital marathon races could redefine the very idea of long-distance running. Picture this: athletes lacing up their shoes not on Earth's surface, but on massive rotating space stations in low Earth orbit. These stations would simulate gravity through centrifugal force, creating a curved running track that loops around the interior. Runners would feel a sense of weightlessness as they move, but the station's rotation would keep them grounded, allowing them to push forward in a way that's both familiar and entirely alien. Running in microgravity presents a unique set of challenges. Without the constant pull of Earth's gravity, muscles and bones experience less strain, which might sound like a benefit at first. But over time, this lack of resistance could lead to muscle atrophy and bone density loss, making training and recovery more complex. Athletes would need to adapt their routines, incorporating specialized exercises to maintain their strength and endurance in this unusual environment. Then there's the psychological aspect. Imagine running for hours on a track that curves upward and around you, with no clear horizon to focus on. The sensation of running in a loop, combined with the disorienting effects of microgravity, could test even the most seasoned marathoners. Staying mentally sharp and maintaining focus would be just as important as physical stamina, but the rewards could be extraordinary. Orbital marathons would offer a breathtaking backdrop of Earth's curvature and the vastness of space, creating a race experience unlike anything we've ever seen. Spectators watching from Earth or aboard the station would witness a fusion of human determination and cutting-edge technology, as runners push their limits in an environment that challenges every aspect of their being. As we look ahead, orbital marathons could become a symbol of humanity's ability to adapt and thrive in the cosmos. And with that, let's turn our attention to the next frontier of space-based sports, where adrenaline meets innovation, space-based extreme sports. Now, let's dive into a realm where the thrill of extreme sports meets the boundless possibilities of space. Space-based extreme sports could take adrenaline junkies to entirely new heights, literally. Imagine surfing on the surface of an asteroid, carving through space dust and rock with specialized boards designed to handle the unique terrain. Or picture orbital skydiving, where daredevils leap from spacecraft orbiting Earth, free falling through the vacuum of space before deploying advanced parachutes to slow their descent. These activities would push the boundaries of human courage and innovation, offering experiences that are as exhilarating as they are groundbreaking. The technology required to make these sports safe would be nothing short of revolutionary. For asteroid surfing, athletes would need lightweight, durable suits equipped with propulsion systems to navigate the asteroid's low gravity. The boards themselves would likely feature magnetic or adhesive components to keep riders anchored to the surface, while sensors and stabilizers would help maintain balance on uneven terrain. Orbital skydiving, on the other hand, would demand cutting-edge suits capable of withstanding the extreme temperatures and pressures of space. These suits would also need built-in life support systems to provide oxygen and regulate body temperature during the free fall. But the challenges don't stop at equipment. The very nature of these sports introduces risks that are far beyond what we face on Earth. In asteroid surfing, a single misstep could send a rider drifting into the void, requiring precise rescue protocols and real-time tracking systems to ensure safety. Orbital skydiving would require meticulous calculations to account for orbital mechanics, ensuring that skydivers re-enter Earth's atmosphere at the correct angle and speed to avoid catastrophic outcomes. Despite these challenges, the allure of space-based extreme sports lies in their ability to combine human daring with technological ingenuity. These activities would not only test the limits of what's physically possible, but also inspire a new generation of explorers and thrill-seekers. The spectacle of watching someone surf an asteroid or skydive from orbit would captivate audiences worldwide, blending the excitement of extreme sports with the awe-inspiring beauty of space. As we look to the future, space-based extreme sports could become a testament to humanity's relentless pursuit of adventure and discovery. And with that, let's turn our attention to another sport that reimagines a familiar game in an entirely new environment: lunar gravity basketball. Now, let's take a giant leap from the adrenaline-fueled world of space-based extreme sports to a sport that reimagines a beloved Earth classic in an entirely new setting: lunar gravity basketball. Picture this: players soaring through the air, leaping to heights that would be impossible on Earth, and executing gravity-defying dunks that would leave audiences in awe. On the Moon, where gravity is just 1/6 of what we experience here, basketball would transform into a high-flying spectacle unlike anything we've ever seen. The first major change would be the court itself. Traditional hardwood floors wouldn't cut it on the lunar surface. Instead, courts would likely be constructed from lightweight, durable materials designed to withstand the Moon's harsh environment. The baskets might also need to be adjusted, with higher rims to account for players' enhanced jumping abilities. Imagine a rim set at 15 or even 20 feet, challenging athletes to push their limits even further. The rules of the game would also need to adapt. With players able to jump higher and move faster, the pace of the game would increase dramatically. Dribbling, for instance, might become less practical in low gravity, leading to a greater emphasis on passing and aerial maneuvers. Teams would need to develop new strategies to capitalize on the unique physics of lunar basketball, such as using the moon's weaker gravity to execute longer, more precise passes or to block shots from seemingly impossible angles. Defense would take on a whole new dimension as well. Players could leap to intercept passes or block shots from much greater distances, making every possession a high-stakes battle. Coaches would need to rethink traditional defensive formations, perhaps introducing more zone defenses to cover the expanded playing area created by players' enhanced mobility. And let's not forget the fans. Watching a lunar basketball game would be an unforgettable experience. The combination of breathtaking athleticism and the surreal backdrop of the moon's surface would create a spectacle that blends sports and science fiction in the most thrilling way. Broadcasts could feature cameras mounted on drones or even lunar rovers, offering viewers dynamic angles and close-ups of the action. Of course, there are challenges to consider. Players would need specialized training to adapt to the moon's gravity, and equipment like shoes and uniforms would have to be designed to provide stability and protection in this unique environment. But the potential rewards both for the athletes and the audience are immense. Lunar gravity basketball could become a symbol of humanity's ability to adapt and innovate, turning the moon into a new frontier for sports and entertainment. As we continue to explore the possibilities of space-based sports, let's shift our focus to another exciting concept: interplanetary relay races, where teams compete across vast distances, bridging the gap between planets and moons. Now, let's venture beyond the moon and into the vast expanse of our solar system, where the concept of sports takes on an entirely new scale. Imagine interplanetary relay races, a thrilling competition that spans not just cities or countries, but entire planets and moons. This isn't just a race, it's a testament to human ingenuity and collaboration across the stars. In this futuristic sport, teams would be stationed on different celestial bodies, such as Mars, the Moon, or even the moons of Jupiter. The race would begin with the first team member launching from their home base, carrying a specially designed baton. This baton, equipped with advanced tracking and communication technology, would serve as both the symbol of the race and the key to victory. The challenge: to transport the baton across millions of miles of space, passing it from one team member to the next until it reaches the final destination. The logistics of such a race would be nothing short of extraordinary. Each leg of the relay would require precise coordination, as team members would need to time their spacecraft launches perfectly to intercept the baton in orbit. Advanced propulsion systems like ion drives or solar sails would be essential to ensure the baton travels swiftly and efficiently between planets. Teams would also need to account for the varying gravitational pulls and orbital mechanics of each celestial body, turning the race into a high-stakes game of cosmic strategy. But what makes interplanetary relay races truly special is the spirit of camaraderie they could foster. Picture teams from Earth, Mars, and Europa working together, sharing resources and expertise to overcome the challenges of space travel. The competition wouldn't just be about speed, it would also celebrate teamwork, innovation, and the shared goal of pushing the boundaries of what's possible. This could become a unifying event, bringing together people from different worlds to celebrate our collective achievements in space exploration. For spectators, the excitement would be unparalleled. Imagine watching live feeds from multiple spacecraft, tracking the baton's journey as it zips through the solar system. Broadcasts could feature real-time updates on each team's progress, along with expert commentary on the science and technology behind the race. The sheer scale of the event, spanning planets and moons, would make it a spectacle unlike anything we've ever seen. Of course, there are challenges to consider. The cost of developing the necessary technology, the risks of space travel, and the need for international cooperation would all play a role in making this vision a reality. But the potential rewards are immense. Interplanetary relay races could inspire a new generation of explorers, engineers, and dreamers, showing them that the stars are not just a destination, but a playground for human ambition. As we look ahead to the future of space-based sports, let's turn our attention to another groundbreaking concept: space yacht racing, where teams pilot solar sail-powered spacecraft through the asteroid belt, blending strategy, navigation, and engineering in a race for the ages. Now, let's set our sights on a sport that combines the elegance of sailing with the thrill of space exploration: space yacht racing. Picture sleek, solar sail-powered spacecraft gliding through the vastness of space, their sails catching the faint but constant push of sunlight. These futuristic yachts would race through asteroid fields, dodging obstacles and navigating treacherous paths, all while harnessing the power of the stars to propel them forward. The heart of space yacht racing lies in its unique blend of strategy, navigation, and engineering. Unlike traditional sailing, where wind and water currents dictate movement, space yachts rely on the subtle but steady pressure of solar radiation. Teams would need to master the art of adjusting their sails to maximize speed, all while plotting the safest and most efficient course through the asteroid belt. One wrong move could mean disaster, as even a small collision with an asteroid could spell the end of the race or worse. But it's not just about speed and precision. Space yacht racing would also demand incredible teamwork and innovation. Each spacecraft would be a marvel of engineering, equipped with advanced sensors to detect incoming debris, automated systems to adjust sail angles, and communication arrays to stay in constant contact with mission control. Teams would need to work together seamlessly, making split-second decisions to outmaneuver their competitors and avoid hazards. For spectators, the excitement would be out of this world, literally. Imagine watching live feeds from multiple spacecraft, their solar sails shimmering like silver wings as they dart through the darkness. Broadcasts could feature real-time data on each team's speed, trajectory, and energy usage, along with expert commentary on the science behind solar sailing. The visual spectacle of these races, set against the backdrop of the asteroid belt, would be nothing short of breathtaking. Of course, the challenges of space yacht racing are as vast as the cosmos itself. Developing spacecraft capable of withstanding the rigors of space travel, ensuring the safety of the crew, and creating fair competition rules would all require significant advancements in technology and international cooperation. But the potential rewards are immense. Space yacht racing could inspire a new era of innovation in space travel, pushing the boundaries of what's possible and bringing us closer to the stars. As we look ahead to the future of space-based sports, let's turn our attention to another exciting possibility: Martian rugby, where the unique gravity and terrain of the red planet could give rise to a whole new way to play this beloved Earth sport. Now, let's take a leap from the elegance of space yacht racing to the rugged, high-energy world of Martian rugby. Imagine a sport known for its intensity and physicality, but now played on the dusty, rocky terrain of Mars, where gravity is only about 38% of what we experience on Earth. This dramatic shift in environment would completely transform the way rugby is played, creating a thrilling new version of the game that combines familiar elements with entirely new challenges. On Mars, players would find themselves able to leap higher and cover greater distances with each stride, thanks to the planet's lower gravity. Picture a rugby player launching themselves into the air for a tackle or a pass, soaring several meters above the ground in a way that would be impossible on Earth. This would add a whole new dimension to the sport, with aerial maneuvers becoming a key part of the game. However, the reduced gravity would also make it harder to maintain balance and control, requiring players to develop entirely new techniques to stay grounded and agile. The terrain of Mars would also play a significant role in shaping the game. The planet's surface is covered in fine, loose dust and scattered with rocks and boulders, creating a playing field that's far from smooth. Players would need to adapt to these conditions, learning how to navigate uneven ground and avoid obstacles while maintaining their speed and focus. Specialized footwear with enhanced grip and stability would likely become essential, designed to prevent slips and falls on the unpredictable Martian surface. Equipment would also need to be reimagined for the red planet. Rugby balls, for example, might be redesigned to account for the thinner Martian atmosphere, which could affect their flight and bounce. Protective gear would need to be lightweight yet durable, offering maximum safety without restricting movement in the lower gravity. Even the uniforms could see changes, incorporating materials that help regulate body temperature in Mars's colder climate. But perhaps the most exciting aspect of Martian rugby would be the strategies and tactics that emerge. Coaches and players would need to rethink traditional plays, taking advantage of the unique conditions to create innovative approaches to the game. For instance, long, high passes could become a staple, allowing players to cover vast distances in a single throw. Defensive formations might focus on controlling the airspace, anticipating the higher jumps and longer hang times of opponents. For fans, Martian rugby would offer a spectacle unlike anything seen on Earth. Broadcasts could feature stunning visuals of players leaping across the Martian landscape, their movements almost balletic in the lower gravity. Real-time data on player speed, jump height, and other metrics could add an extra layer of excitement, giving viewers a deeper understanding of the game's dynamics. And with the backdrop of Mars's red deserts and towering volcanoes, every match would feel like a cinematic event. Of course, bringing rugby to Mars wouldn't be without its challenges. Ensuring the safety of players in an environment with extreme temperatures, radiation, and limited resources would require significant advancements in technology and infrastructure. But the potential rewards are immense. Martian rugby could not only provide a thrilling new sport for future colonists, but also inspire a new generation of athletes and innovators, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in both sports and space exploration. As we continue our journey through the future of space-based sports, let's turn our attention to another gravity-defying possibility: zero-gravity gymnastics, where athletes will perform routines that defy the laws of physics as we know them. Now, shifting our focus from the rugged terrain of Mars to the boundless freedom of zero-gravity environments, let's explore the breathtaking possibilities of zero-gravity gymnastics. Picture athletes floating effortlessly, their bodies moving in ways that defy gravity, performing routines that stretch the limits of human creativity and physicality. In this new frontier of sports, gymnastics would transform into a mesmerizing display of three-dimensional artistry, where every flip, spin, and twist unfolds in a realm without up or down. In zero-gravity gymnastics, athletes would no longer be confined to the two-dimensional plane of a floor or beam. Instead, they would navigate a three-dimensional space using walls, ceilings, and even mid-air as their stage. Imagine a gymnast launching themselves from one surface, spinning through the air and landing gracefully on another, all while maintaining perfect control and precision. The absence of gravity would allow for movements that are impossible on Earth, such as continuous flips or spins that seem to go on forever. This would open up entirely new possibilities for routines, blending elements of dance, acrobatics, and even aerial arts into a single, fluid performance. Scoring and judging for zero-gravity gymnastics would need to evolve to reflect the unique challenges and opportunities of this format. Traditional criteria like balance and stability would take on new meanings, as athletes would need to demonstrate control in a completely different way. Judges might focus on how well a gymnast manages their momentum, transitions between surfaces, and maintains spatial awareness in a three-dimensional environment. Creativity and innovation would likely become key factors, with athletes rewarded for pushing the boundaries of what's possible in zero gravity. The equipment used in zero-gravity gymnastics would also undergo a dramatic transformation. Instead of beams, bars, and mats, athletes might rely on specially designed grips, magnetic shoes, or even tethers to anchor themselves to surfaces. These tools would allow gymnasts to perform complex maneuvers while maintaining control and safety. The design of the performance space itself would be crucial, with padded walls, handholds, and other features to support the athlete's movements and prevent collisions. For spectators, zero-gravity gymnastics would be a visual feast. Broadcasts could use multiple camera angles to capture the full scope of the athlete's movements, giving viewers a sense of the three-dimensional nature of the sport. Slow-motion replays could highlight the intricate details of each routine, from the precise timing of a flip to the graceful extension of a limb. Real-time data on speed, rotation, and trajectory could add an extra layer of excitement, helping fans appreciate the skill and athleticism required to excel in this new format. Of course, mastering zero-gravity gymnastics would come with its own set of challenges. Athletes would need to develop a whole new set of skills, from controlling their movements in 3 dimensions to adapting to the disorienting effects of zero gravity. Training would likely take place in specialized facilities, such as rotating space stations or underwater environments that simulate weightlessness. Over time, as athletes and coaches refine their techniques, zero-gravity gymnastics could become a cornerstone of space-based sports, captivating audiences with its beauty and innovation. As we continue to explore the future of sports in space, let's turn our attention to another thrilling possibility: space-based sports, where players compete in virtual reality environments while floating in microgravity. Now, let's dive into the electrifying world of space-based sports, where gaming meets the final frontier. Imagine professional gamers floating in microgravity, their movements unrestricted by gravity, as they immerse themselves in virtual reality environments that push the boundaries of competition. In this futuristic setting, sports would take on a whole new dimension, blending cutting-edge technology with the thrill of space exploration. In space-based sports, players would compete in specially designed VR pods, equipped with motion tracking systems and haptic feedback to create a fully immersive experience. Floating in microgravity, gamers would have the freedom to move in any direction, adding a layer of physicality to their gameplay. Picture a player spinning mid-air to dodge an incoming attack or reaching out to grab a virtual object, their movements perfectly mirrored in the game. This level of immersion would make space-based sports unlike anything we've seen on Earth, offering players and spectators alike a truly out-of-this-world experience. The games themselves would likely be designed to take full advantage of the unique environment. Titles could range from zero-gravity shooters, where players navigate 3-dimensional battlefields, to puzzle games that require spatial awareness and creative problem-solving. Developers might even create games that simulate real-world space exploration, allowing players to pilot spacecraft, mine asteroids, or build colonies on distant planets. The possibilities are endless, limited only by the imagination of game designers and the capabilities of the technology. For spectators, space-based sports would be a visual spectacle. Broadcasts could feature multiple camera angles, showing both the players' physical movements and their in-game actions. Real-time data overlays could provide insights into the players' strategies, reaction times, and even their heart rates, adding an extra layer of excitement for fans. The combination of high-stakes competition and the novelty of microgravity would make these tournaments a must-watch event, drawing in audiences from across the globe. Of course, competing in space-based sports would come with its own set of challenges. Players would need to adapt to the disorienting effects of microgravity, learning to control their movements while staying focused on the game. Training would likely take place in specialized facilities where gamers could practice in simulated zero-gravity environments. Over time, as players and teams refine their skills, space-based esports could become a major league sport, with tournaments held on space stations or even lunar bases. The rise of space-based esports could also have a profound impact on the gaming industry as a whole. It could drive innovation in VR technology, leading to more immersive and realistic gaming experiences for players on Earth. It could also inspire a new generation of gamers, sparking interest in space exploration and STEM fields. By combining the thrill of competition with the wonder of space, space-based esports could become a powerful force for bringing people together and pushing the boundaries of human achievement. As we look ahead to the next frontier of space-based sports, let's turn our attention to another exciting possibility: asteroid mining competitions, where teams race to extract resources from asteroids, combining engineering skills, strategy, and speed. Now, let's shift our focus to a thrilling new frontier in space-based sports: asteroid mining competitions. Picture teams of engineers, scientists, and strategists racing against the clock to extract valuable resources from asteroids, combining technical expertise with quick thinking and precision. These competitions wouldn't just be about speed, they'd also test a team's ability to innovate, adapt, and solve complex challenges in the harsh environment of space. In asteroid mining competitions, teams would be tasked with locating, landing on, and extracting resources from asteroids within a set time frame. Each team would need to design and deploy specialized mining equipment, such as robotic drills, ore processors, and transport systems, all while navigating the unpredictable terrain of an asteroid. The competition could include multiple stages, from identifying the most resource-rich asteroids to refining and delivering the extracted materials to a designated collection point. This multi-layered approach would make asteroid mining competitions a true test of skill, strategy, and teamwork. The challenges of mining in space are immense. Asteroids have irregular shapes, weak gravitational fields, and surfaces that can range from solid rock to loose rubble. Teams would need to account for these factors when designing their equipment and planning their operations. For example, a drill designed for solid rock might struggle on a rubble pile asteroid, requiring teams to think creatively and adapt on the fly. The unpredictable nature of these challenges would keep both competitors and spectators on the edge of their seats as teams race to overcome obstacles and outmaneuver their rivals. Beyond the excitement of competition, asteroid mining contests could have a profound impact on space exploration. The technologies developed for these events could revolutionize how we extract and utilize resources in space, making it easier and more cost-effective to support long-term missions. For instance, mining equipment designed for competitions could be adapted for use on the Moon or Mars, helping to establish sustainable colonies. Additionally, the resources extracted during these events could be used to fuel spacecraft, build habitats, or even support life support systems, reducing our reliance on Earth-based supplies. Spectators would have plenty to enjoy, too. Broadcasts could feature real-time updates on each team's progress, highlighting key moments like the deployment of mining equipment or the discovery of rare materials. Expert commentary could provide insights into the science and engineering behind each team's strategy, making the competition both entertaining and educational. Over time, asteroid mining competitions could grow into major events, drawing in teams from around the world and inspiring a new generation of space enthusiasts. As we look to the future, asteroid mining competitions could become a driving force for innovation, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in space exploration. By combining the thrill of competition with the practical challenges of resource extraction, these events could pave the way for a new era of space-based industry and discovery. And speaking of pushing boundaries, let's turn our attention to another fascinating possibility: space-based swimming, where athletes take to the water in microgravity for a truly unique sporting experience. Now let's dive into a truly out-of-this-world concept, space-based swimming. Imagine athletes gliding through water in microgravity, where the usual rules of buoyancy and resistance no longer apply. In this unique environment, specially designed pools with controlled water flow would be essential to create a swimming experience unlike anything we've seen on Earth. These pools would use advanced technology to simulate currents and keep the water contained, allowing swimmers to move freely without the risk of floating away. Swimming in microgravity would require a complete rethinking of technique and strategy. Without gravity to anchor them, swimmers would need to rely on precise movements and controlled propulsion to navigate the water. Strokes like the freestyle or butterfly would take on a whole new dimension as athletes adapt to the absence of up and down. The result, a visually stunning sport that combines grace, strength, and innovation in ways that push the boundaries of human performance. The challenges of space-based swimming would extend beyond the athletes themselves. Designing and maintaining these pools would be a feat of engineering. Water in microgravity behaves unpredictably, forming floating blobs rather than staying in a contained pool. To solve this, engineers would need to create systems that use centrifugal force or magnetic fields to keep the water in place while allowing swimmers to move through it. These innovations could have practical applications beyond sports, such as improving water management systems for space stations or future lunar bases. Spectators would be treated to a mesmerizing display of athleticism and artistry. Broadcasts could feature slow-motion replays of swimmers twisting and turning in 3 dimensions, showcasing the beauty of movement in microgravity. Expert commentators could explain the science behind each stroke, adding an educational layer to the excitement. Over time, space-based swimming could evolve into a major event, with competitions held on space stations or even lunar colonies, drawing in athletes and fans from across the solar system. The potential for space-based swimming to become an Olympic sport is immense. Just as the Olympics have always celebrated human achievement and innovation, adding a microgravity swimming event would symbolize our progress in exploring and thriving beyond Earth. It could inspire a new generation of athletes to dream big, not just about winning medals, but about pushing the limits of what's possible in space. As we look ahead, space-based swimming represents more than just a sport. It's a testament to human creativity and adaptability. By reimagining a familiar activity in an entirely new environment, we open the door to endless possibilities for exploration and discovery. And with that, let's turn our attention to another exciting frontier, orbital tennis, where players take to the courts in zero gravity for a match that defies all expectations. Now, let's shift our focus to a sport that's about to serve up a whole new level of excitement, orbital tennis. Picture this: players floating in zero gravity, armed with magnetic rackets and chasing after balls that drift effortlessly through the air. In this futuristic version of tennis, the familiar thwack of a ball hitting the racket takes on a new dimension, as every swing and volley happens in a 3-dimensional playing field. The rules of orbital tennis would need a complete overhaul to account for the unique challenges of microgravity. Traditional boundaries like the baseline and net would be replaced by virtual markers, projected in 3 dimensions to define the playing area. Players would need to master not just forehands and backhands, but also the art of maneuvering in zero gravity, using small thrusters or handholds to position themselves for the perfect shot. Strategy would become a game of angles and precision. Without gravity to pull the ball down, shots could curve and spin in ways that are impossible on Earth. Players might develop new techniques like spinning the ball to create unpredictable trajectories or using the walls and ceiling of the space station as part of their gameplay. Matches would be a thrilling blend of athleticism and tactical thinking as competitors adapt to the ever-changing dynamics of the match. The equipment itself would be a marvel of innovation. Magnetic rackets would allow players to control the ball's movement, while specially designed balls would float at just the right speed to keep the game challenging yet playable. The court, likely housed within a spacious module of a space station, would need to be carefully designed to prevent collisions and ensure safety, all while providing enough room for players to move freely. For spectators, orbital tennis would be a visual spectacle. Imagine watching a match where players soar through the air, executing acrobatic moves to return a shot. Broadcasts could feature holographic overlays to highlight the ball's trajectory or show the player's positioning in real time. Commentators could break down the science behind each play, adding an educational layer to the excitement. Over time, orbital tennis could grow into a major event, drawing fans from across the globe and beyond. This adaptation of a classic sport isn't just about entertainment, it's a testament to human ingenuity. By reimagining tennis for the cosmos, we push the boundaries of what's possible, blending tradition with cutting-edge technology. And as we explore this new frontier, we're reminded that the spirit of competition knows no bounds, whether on Earth or among the stars. With that, let's turn our attention to another thrilling concept, space-based parkour, where athletes take on obstacle courses in zero gravity, redefining what it means to move with agility and precision. Now, let's leap into a sport that takes agility and creativity to entirely new heights, or rather, new dimensions. Space-based parkour reimagines the art of movement, transforming it into a zero-gravity spectacle where athletes navigate obstacle courses on space stations or lunar bases. Picture this: instead of running and jumping across rooftops or urban landscapes, parkour athletes would float, spin, and propel themselves through a three-dimensional maze of obstacles, using every surface, walls, ceilings, and even floating platforms as part of their path. The physical demands of space-based parkour would be unlike anything we've seen on Earth. In microgravity, every movement requires precise control and coordination. Athletes would need to master the art of pushing off surfaces with just the right amount of force, using handholds or small thrusters to guide their trajectory. The lack of gravity means there's no natural down to orient yourself, so spatial awareness becomes a critical skill. Imagine flipping through the air, twisting your body to avoid a floating barrier, and then landing, or rather grabbing onto, a moving platform. It's a full-body workout that challenges strength, flexibility, and balance in ways that redefine athleticism. But it's not just about physical prowess. Space-based parkour would also test the mental resilience of its athletes. Navigating a zero-gravity obstacle course requires quick thinking and adaptability. One wrong move could send you drifting off course, forcing you to recalibrate your approach on the fly. Athletes would need to stay calm under pressure, constantly assessing their surroundings and making split-second decisions. The mental focus required would be as intense as the physical exertion, making this sport a true test of both body and mind. The courses themselves would be engineering marvels designed to challenge athletes while ensuring their safety. Obstacles could include spinning rings, floating walls, and narrow passageways that require precise movements. Some courses might even incorporate elements of virtual reality, projecting holographic barriers or targets that athletes must interact with. Safety measures like magnetic grips or tethers would prevent athletes from drifting too far off course, but the thrill of navigating these challenges in zero gravity would remain unmatched. For spectators, space-based parkour would be a visual feast. Watching athletes soar through the air, twisting and turning with grace and precision, would be nothing short of mesmerizing. Broadcasts could feature real-time tracking of athletes' movements, highlighting their speed, trajectory, and technique. Commentators could explain the physics behind each maneuver, adding an educational layer to the excitement. Over time, this sport could evolve into a major event, drawing fans who appreciate the blend of athleticism, creativity, and cutting-edge technology. Space-based parkour isn't just a sport, it's a celebration of human adaptability and innovation. By taking parkour to the stars, we push the boundaries of what's possible, proving that the spirit of exploration and competition can thrive even in the most extreme environments. And as we watch athletes defy gravity and redefine movement, we're reminded that the future of sports is as limitless as the cosmos itself. With that, let's turn our attention to another thrilling concept: interstellar sailing, where teams race across vast distances using solar sails or other advanced propulsion systems, blending strategy, navigation, and engineering in a cosmic competition. Now, let's set our sights on a competition that takes the thrill of racing to the farthest reaches of the cosmos. Interstellar sailing envisions a future where teams pilot spacecraft equipped with solar sails or other advanced propulsion systems, racing across unimaginable distances in a test of strategy, navigation, and engineering. Picture this: sleek, futuristic vessels gliding through the void, their sails catching the faint but powerful push of starlight, propelling them toward distant stars. It's a sport that combines the elegance of traditional sailing with the cutting-edge technology of space exploration, creating a spectacle unlike anything we've ever seen. The heart of interstellar sailing lies in its propulsion systems. Solar sails, for instance, rely on the pressure of photons from stars to generate thrust. These sails, made of ultra-lightweight, reflective materials, can harness the energy of light to propel a spacecraft forward without the need for fuel. But mastering this technology is no easy feat. Teams would need to carefully calculate the angle and orientation of their sails to maximize efficiency, adjusting them in real time to catch the optimal amount of starlight. And while solar sails are ideal for long-distance travel, other propulsion methods like ion drives or even experimental warp technologies could also play a role, adding layers of complexity and innovation to the competition. Navigating the vastness of space presents its own set of challenges. Unlike traditional sailing, where wind and currents provide predictable forces, interstellar sailing requires teams to account for the gravitational pull of planets, the influence of cosmic radiation, and the unpredictable nature of space debris. Teams would need to plot their courses with incredible precision, using advanced algorithms and real-time data to avoid hazards and optimize their trajectories. One wrong calculation could mean drifting off course, adding hours, days, or even years to the race. The stakes are high, and the margin for error is razor-thin. But interstellar sailing isn't just about speed and precision. It's also a test of endurance. Races could span years or even decades, requiring teams to maintain their spacecraft and manage resources over long periods. Crews would need to be self-sufficient, relying on advanced life support systems and sustainable technologies to survive the journey. The psychological toll of such a long race can't be underestimated either. Teams would need to stay motivated and cohesive, working together to overcome the isolation and monotony of deep space travel. For spectators, interstellar sailing would be a slow but mesmerizing spectacle. Broadcasts could feature real-time tracking of the spacecraft, highlighting their speed, position, and progress toward the finish line. Viewers could follow the strategies of each team, learning about the science behind their propulsion systems and the challenges they face along the way. Over time, this sport could evolve into a grand interplanetary event, drawing fans who appreciate the blend of science, strategy, and human ingenuity. Interstellar sailing represents the ultimate fusion of exploration and competition. It's a sport that pushes the boundaries of what's possible, challenging us to rethink our understanding of travel, technology, and teamwork. As we watch these cosmic races unfold, we're reminded that the spirit of competition knows no bounds, not even the vast expanse of space. With that, let's shift our focus to another fascinating concept: space-based martial arts, where combat evolves in microgravity, giving rise to new techniques and styles designed for zero-gravity environments. Now, let's dive into a world where combat takes on a whole new dimension literally. Space-based martial arts reimagines the ancient practice of hand-to-hand combat for the zero-gravity environment of space. Picture fighters floating freely, their movements unbound by gravity as they execute flips, spins, and strikes in 3 dimensions. This isn't just martial arts, it's martial arts redefined for the cosmos, blending tradition with futuristic innovation. In microgravity, every movement becomes a challenge and an opportunity. Traditional techniques like punches and kicks would need to be adapted, as the lack of gravity changes how force is generated and absorbed. Fighters might rely more on grappling and leverage, using their opponent's momentum against them. Imagine a fighter spinning mid-air to deliver a powerful strike, or using a well-timed push off a wall to gain an advantage. The fluidity and unpredictability of zero-gravity combat would create a dynamic and visually stunning spectacle, unlike anything seen on Earth. The rules of space-based martial arts would also need to evolve. Matches could take place in specially designed arenas with padded walls and floating platforms to provide surfaces for fighters to push off from. Scoring systems might reward creativity and precision, with points awarded for innovative techniques and controlled movements. Safety would be a top priority, with fighters wearing specialized suits to protect against impacts and ensure they can maneuver effectively in microgravity. But space-based martial arts isn't just about physical skill, it's also a mental game. Fighters would need to master spatial awareness, constantly calculating their position and trajectory in 3-dimensional space. Every move would require careful planning and quick thinking, as a single misstep could leave a fighter vulnerable. The mental discipline required for this sport would be as important as the physical training, making it a true test of both body and mind. For spectators, space-based martial arts would be a thrilling experience. Broadcasts could feature multiple camera angles, capturing the action from every perspective and highlighting the intricate movements of the fighters. Slow-motion replays could showcase the precision and artistry of each technique, while commentators could explain the science behind the fighters' strategies. Over time, this sport could develop its own stars and rivalries, drawing fans who appreciate the blend of athleticism, strategy, and innovation. Space-based martial arts represents the next frontier in combat sports, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in both physical and mental competition. It's a sport that honors the traditions of martial arts while embracing the possibilities of the future, creating a spectacle that's as captivating as it is groundbreaking. As we move forward, let's explore another exciting concept, lunar golf, where players can hit balls for miles thanks to the moon's lower gravity, and how this could attract a new generation of space enthusiasts. Now, let's shift our focus to a sport that combines precision, patience, and the thrill of exploration: lunar golf. Picture this, a vast, dusty lunar landscape stretching out before you, the Earth hanging in the black sky above, and a golfer teeing off, sending a ball soaring for miles across the moon's surface. Thanks to the moon's lower gravity, a well-struck drive could travel distances unimaginable on Earth, turning every swing into a monumental achievement. Lunar golf wouldn't just be a game, it would be an experience. The absence of atmosphere means there's no air resistance to slow the ball down, allowing it to travel farther and faster. Golfers would need to adjust their techniques, accounting for the moon's unique conditions. A gentle tap might send the ball rolling for hundreds of feet, while a full swing could launch it into a trajectory that takes minutes to complete. The challenge of mastering these new dynamics would attract both seasoned golfers and newcomers eager to test their skills in an otherworldly setting. The courses themselves would be unlike anything on Earth. Imagine craters serving as natural hazards, lunar ridges acting as obstacles, and vast plains offering wide open fairways. Designers could create courses that take full advantage of the moon's terrain, incorporating its natural features into the gameplay. Each hole would present a unique challenge, requiring players to think creatively and adapt to the environment. The combination of strategy and skill would make lunar golf a sport that's as mentally engaging as it is physically demanding. For spectators, lunar golf would be a visual spectacle. Broadcasts could feature stunning views of the moon's surface, with cameras tracking the ball's flight across the landscape. Slow-motion replays could highlight the precision and power of each shot, while commentators could explain the science behind the game's unique mechanics. Over time, lunar golf could develop its own legends and rivalries, drawing fans who appreciate the blend of tradition and innovation. But beyond the sport itself, lunar golf has the potential to inspire a new generation of space enthusiasts. The idea of playing a familiar game in such an extraordinary setting could capture the imagination of people around the world, sparking interest in space exploration and the possibilities it holds. It's a reminder that the future of sports isn't just about competition, it's about pushing boundaries and exploring new frontiers. As we look ahead, let's turn our attention to another exciting concept: space-based cycling, where athletes pedal on stationary bikes that generate power for space stations, combining fitness and sustainability in a truly innovative way. Now, let's take a closer look at a sport that merges human endurance with cutting-edge technology: space-based cycling. Imagine astronauts and athletes pedaling on stationary bikes, not just for exercise, but to generate power for their space stations. This innovative concept would transform cycling from a terrestrial pastime into a vital activity that supports life in space while keeping athletes in peak physical condition. In the microgravity environment of space, traditional cycling as we know it wouldn't be possible. Instead, stationary bikes would be equipped with resistance systems to simulate the feel of riding on Earth. These bikes could be connected to energy-generating mechanisms, turning every pedal stroke into a source of power for the station's systems. Athletes would not only be working out but also contributing to the sustainability of their habitat, creating a perfect blend of fitness and functionality. The physical benefits of space-based cycling are immense. In microgravity, astronauts often experience muscle atrophy and bone density loss due to the lack of resistance. Cycling would provide a full-body workout, helping to counteract these effects and maintain overall health. The rhythmic motion of pedaling could also offer psychological benefits, providing a sense of routine and normalcy in the otherwise alien environment of space. For spectators, space-based cycling could become a thrilling event. Races could be held in real time, with athletes competing to generate the most power or complete a set distance in the shortest time. Broadcasts could feature split-screen views showing the athletes' efforts alongside real-time energy output data, adding a layer of excitement and engagement. The combination of physical endurance and technological innovation would make space-based cycling a unique and captivating sport. Beyond the competitive aspect, this sport could inspire a new wave of interest in sustainable living. The idea of generating power through human effort could spark innovations in renewable energy on Earth, showing how individual actions can contribute to a larger goal. Space-based cycling would serve as a powerful reminder that even in the most challenging environments, creativity and determination can lead to groundbreaking solutions. As we pedal forward into the future, let's explore another fascinating concept: orbital ice skating, where skaters glide on frozen surfaces in microgravity, creating a visually stunning and gravity-defying spectacle. Now, let's glide into a sport that combines elegance, artistry, and the surreal beauty of space: orbital ice skating. Picture this: skaters gracefully moving across a frozen surface, their movements unbound by gravity, creating a mesmerizing dance that defies everything we know about traditional ice skating. In the microgravity environment of space, ice skating would take on a whole new dimension, transforming it into a breathtaking spectacle that captivates both athletes and audiences alike. In orbit, the frozen surface for skating would need to be carefully designed to maintain its form in microgravity. Imagine a circular rink, perhaps embedded within a rotating space station to simulate a slight gravitational pull, keeping the ice intact. Skaters would wear specialized boots with magnetic or adhesive soles to maintain contact with the surface, allowing them to push off and glide effortlessly. The absence of gravity would enable skaters to perform spins, jumps, and flips with unparalleled ease, creating routines that are as much about three-dimensional movement as they are about speed and precision. The visual appeal of orbital ice skating would be unmatched. Skaters could execute maneuvers that are impossible on Earth, such as mid-air rotations or extended leaps that seem to defy physics. The backdrop of space, with stars and planets visible through the rink's transparent walls, would add an otherworldly ambience to the performance. Broadcasts could feature slow-motion replays and dynamic camera angles, showcasing every twist and turn in stunning detail. This sport would not only be a test of athletic skill, but also a celebration of human creativity and adaptability. Beyond the spectacle, orbital ice skating could also serve as a valuable tool for scientific research. The controlled environment of a space rink would allow scientists to study the physics of motion in microgravity, providing insights that could benefit fields like biomechanics and robotics. Additionally, the psychological benefits of engaging in such a graceful and expressive activity could help astronauts maintain mental well-being during long missions, offering a sense of normalcy and joy in the vastness of space. For audiences on Earth, orbital ice skating could become a cultural phenomenon, blending the artistry of figure skating with the awe-inspiring possibilities of space exploration. Competitions could feature solo performances, pairs, or even synchronized team routines, each pushing the boundaries of what's possible in this new frontier. The fusion of athleticism, technology, and sheer beauty would make orbital ice skating a must-watch event, inspiring a new generation of skaters and space enthusiasts. As we marvel at the possibilities of orbital ice skating, let's turn our attention to another thrilling concept: space-based rock climbing, where athletes scale the rugged surfaces of asteroids and space stations, combining strength, strategy, and courage in a high-stakes adventure. Now, let's shift our gaze to a sport that combines raw strength, strategic thinking, and a dash of daring space-based rock climbing. Imagine athletes scaling the jagged, uneven surfaces of asteroids or the towering walls of space stations, their every move a blend of precision and courage. In the unforgiving environment of space, rock climbing would evolve into a high-stakes adventure, pushing the limits of human endurance and ingenuity. Unlike traditional rock climbing on Earth, where gravity anchors climbers to the surface, space-based climbing would require entirely new techniques and equipment. Climbers would rely on advanced gear, such as magnetic gloves and boots, to grip metallic or rocky surfaces. Some might use tethers or propulsion systems to navigate particularly challenging sections, adding a layer of complexity to the sport. The lack of gravity would allow climbers to move in 3 dimensions, scaling not just upward but sideways or even upside down, creating a dynamic and visually stunning experience. The thrill of space-based rock climbing would come from its inherent risks. Climbers would face unpredictable surfaces, from the rough, cratered terrain of asteroids to the smooth, artificial walls of space stations. Each climb would demand quick thinking and adaptability as athletes navigate obstacles like loose rocks, sharp edges, or sudden changes in surface texture. The stakes would be high, with every move requiring a balance of strength, coordination, and mental focus. For spectators, this sport would be a heart-pounding spectacle. Cameras mounted on climbers' helmets or drones flying alongside them could capture every gripping moment, from daring leaps across gaps to precarious holds on sheer cliffs. The backdrop of space, with its infinite darkness and distant stars, would amplify the drama, making every climb feel like a journey into the unknown. Competitions could feature timed climbs, obstacle courses, or even team-based challenges where climbers work together to reach the summit. Beyond the excitement, space-based rock climbing could also have practical applications. The skills and technologies developed for this sport could aid in asteroid mining or the construction of space habitats, where climbing and maneuvering in low-gravity environments are essential. Additionally, the mental and physical challenges of climbing could serve as valuable training for astronauts, helping them prepare for the rigors of space exploration. As we envision the future of space-based rock climbing, it's clear that this sport would be more than just a test of athleticism. It would be a celebration of human resilience and innovation. And with that, let's turn our attention to another fascinating concept: interplanetary chess, where players compete across vast distances, blending strategy and patience in a game that transcends the boundaries of space. Now, let's take a step into the realm of strategy and intellect with interplanetary chess, a game that could redefine competition across the cosmos. Picture this: two players, one on Mars and the other on a lunar base, locked in a battle of wits, their moves transmitted across millions of miles in real time. This isn't just chess, it's chess on an interplanetary scale, where the vast distances between players add a whole new layer of complexity to the game. In interplanetary chess, the classic rules of the game would remain the same, but the logistics of playing across such distances would introduce unique challenges. Real-time communication would be key, with players relying on advanced technology to transmit their moves instantly, despite the delays caused by the speed of light. This would require not only strategic thinking but also immense patience, as players would need to anticipate their opponent's moves while accounting for the time it takes for signals to travel between planets. The mental demands of interplanetary chess would be unparalleled. Players would need to think several steps ahead, not just about their own strategy, but also about how their opponent might adapt to the communication delays. This could lead to entirely new styles of play, with players developing strategies specifically tailored to the challenges of interplanetary competition. For example, a player might deliberately slow down their moves to disrupt their opponent's rhythm, or use the time delay to their advantage by setting traps that only become apparent after several moves. For spectators, interplanetary chess would be a fascinating blend of tradition and innovation. Broadcasts could feature holographic displays of the chessboard, with commentators analyzing each move in real time. The backdrop of space, with planets and stars visible in the background, would add a sense of grandeur to the game, making it feel like a true cosmic event. Tournaments could be held between teams representing different planets or moons, fostering a sense of interplanetary camaraderie and competition. Beyond the thrill of the game, interplanetary chess could also have broader implications. The skills developed by players' strategic thinking, patience, and adaptability would be invaluable for future space missions where quick decisions and long-term planning are essential. Additionally, the technology developed for real-time communication across vast distances could have applications in other areas of space exploration, from remote control of spacecraft to interplanetary collaboration on scientific projects. As we imagine the future of interplanetary chess, it's clear that this game would be more than just a test of skill. It would be a celebration of human ingenuity and the boundless possibilities of space. And with that, let's turn our attention to another exciting concept: space-based archery, where ancient traditions meet futuristic technology in a sport that could captivate audiences across the galaxy. Now, let's shift our focus to a sport that combines ancient traditions with cutting-edge technology: space-based archery. Picture this: archers floating in microgravity, their movements fluid and precise as they draw back specialized bows, aiming at targets that seem to hover in the vast emptiness of space. This isn't just archery, it's archery reimagined for the cosmos, where the absence of gravity transforms every aspect of the sport. In space-based archery, the equipment would need to be entirely redesigned to account for the unique challenges of microgravity. Traditional bows and arrows rely on Earth's gravity to stabilize the arrow's flight, but in space, that stabilizing force is absent. To compensate, archers might use magnetic or propulsion-assisted arrows designed to maintain a straight trajectory even in zero gravity. The bows themselves could be equipped with stabilizing mechanisms to help archers maintain their aim while floating freely. The techniques used in space-based archery would also differ significantly from those on Earth. Without gravity pulling them down, archers would need to adjust their stance and posture, relying on their core strength to stay steady. The act of drawing the bowstring would require precise control, as even the slightest movement could send the archer spinning in the opposite direction. This would make space-based archery not just a test of accuracy but also of balance and coordination. For spectators, space-based archery would be a visually stunning spectacle. Imagine watching archers float gracefully through a space station, their arrows gliding silently through the air before hitting their targets. Broadcasts could feature slow-motion replays of each shot, highlighting the skill and precision required to succeed in this unique environment. The backdrop of stars and planets would add an otherworldly beauty to the competition, making it feel like a true cosmic event. Beyond the thrill of the sport, space-based archery could also have practical applications. The skills developed by archers' precision, focus, and adaptability would be invaluable for future space missions where accuracy and control are essential. Additionally, the technology developed for space-based archery, such as propulsion-assisted arrows, could have uses in other areas of space exploration, from satellite deployment to asteroid mining. As we envision the future of space-based archery, it's clear that this ancient sport could find new life in the stars. It's a perfect blend of tradition and innovation, offering a fresh perspective on a timeless activity. And with that, let's turn our attention to another captivating concept: orbital dance competitions, where performers take to the stage in zero gravity, creating routines that defy the limits of Earth-bound choreography. Now, let's glide into a world where movement knows no bounds: orbital dance competitions. Imagine dancers floating freely in zero gravity, their bodies twisting and turning in three-dimensional space, creating routines that defy the laws of physics. This isn't just dance. It's a breathtaking fusion of art and science, where every movement is a testament to human creativity and adaptability. In orbital dance competitions, the absence of gravity opens up entirely new possibilities for choreography. Dancers can leap, spin, and glide in ways that would be impossible on Earth, using the environment to their advantage. Performers might push off walls, ceilings, or even each other, creating intricate patterns and formations that unfold in every direction. The result is a mesmerizing spectacle, where the stage is no longer confined to a flat surface but extends into the vastness of space. The techniques required for orbital dance would be unlike anything seen in traditional dance forms. Dancers would need to master the art of controlling their movements in three dimensions, using their core strength and spatial awareness to navigate the environment. Every twist, turn, and leap would require precise coordination, as even the slightest miscalculation could send a performer drifting off course. This would make orbital dance not just a test of artistry, but also of physical and mental discipline. For audiences, orbital dance competitions would be a feast for the senses. Imagine watching dancers float gracefully through a space station, their movements synchronized to music that echoes through the cosmos. Broadcasts could feature multiple camera angles, capturing the full scope of each routine from every perspective. The backdrop of stars and planets would add an ethereal quality to the performances, transforming each dance into a cosmic masterpiece. Beyond the entertainment value, orbital dance could also have a profound impact on the arts. It could inspire new forms of expression, pushing the boundaries of what we consider dance. Choreographers and performers would have the opportunity to explore uncharted territory, creating routines that challenge our understanding of movement and space. This could lead to the emergence of a new art form, one that celebrates the beauty of human creativity in the most extraordinary setting imaginable. As we look to the future, orbital dance competitions represent more than just a new sport. They symbolize the limitless potential of human imagination. They remind us that even in the vast emptiness of space, we can find beauty, grace, and connection. And with that, let's turn our attention to another fascinating concept, space-based weightlifting, where athletes redefine strength and endurance in the absence of gravity. Now, let's shift our focus to a sport that redefines strength in the most unexpected of environments, space-based weightlifting. In the absence of gravity, traditional weightlifting as we know it becomes impossible. Without the pull of Earth's gravity, barbells and dumbbells would simply float away, rendering conventional methods useless. But where there's a challenge, there's innovation. In space, weightlifting evolves into a completely new discipline, one that relies on resistance-based equipment to help athletes build and maintain their strength. Imagine a space station gym equipped with advanced resistance machines designed specifically for microgravity. Instead of lifting heavy weights, athletes would use elastic bands, hydraulic systems, or even magnetic resistance to simulate the effects of gravity. These machines would allow them to perform exercises like squats, deadlifts, and bench presses, but with a twist. Every movement would require precise control, as the lack of gravity means there's no natural resistance to guide the motion. This would make space-based weightlifting not just a test of physical strength, but also of coordination and focus. The benefits of space-based weightlifting go beyond just building muscle. In microgravity, the human body undergoes significant changes, including muscle atrophy and bone density loss. Regular resistance training in space could help counteract these effects, keeping astronauts and space athletes healthy and strong during long missions. This makes weightlifting not just a sport but a vital part of life in space, ensuring that those who venture beyond Earth's atmosphere can maintain their physical well-being. For spectators, space-based weightlifting competitions would be a fascinating blend of strength and strategy. Athletes would need to adapt their techniques to the unique challenges of microgravity, creating a dynamic and unpredictable spectacle. Broadcasts could feature close-up shots of the resistance machines in action, highlighting the intricate mechanics behind each lift. The sight of athletes pushing their limits in zero gravity would be both inspiring and awe-inspiring, showcasing the incredible potential of human strength in the most extreme conditions. As we look to the future, space-based weightlifting represents more than just a new sport. It's a testament to human ingenuity and adaptability. It shows us that even in the most challenging environments, we can find ways to thrive and push the boundaries of what's possible. And with that, let's move on to another exciting prediction: intergalactic poker, where players compete across galaxies in a game of skill, strategy, and cosmic luck. Now, let's take a leap into the realm of strategy and chance with a prediction that combines the thrill of poker with the vastness of space: intergalactic poker. Picture this: players from different corners of the galaxy, seated at virtual tables, competing in real-time poker tournaments. Thanks to advanced communication technology, the delays caused by the immense distances between planets and star systems are eliminated, allowing for seamless gameplay. This isn't just a game of cards, it's a cosmic showdown of skill, strategy, and a little bit of luck. In intergalactic poker, the stakes are as high as the distances are vast. Players might be stationed on Mars, orbiting a distant moon, or even aboard a spacecraft en route to another star system. The game would rely on cutting-edge holographic interfaces and quantum communication networks, ensuring that every hand is dealt and every bluff is called without a hitch. The technology would not only make the game possible but also enhance the experience, with immersive visuals and real-time interactions that make players feel like they're sitting across from each other, even if they're light years apart. What makes intergalactic poker particularly fascinating is its potential to bring people together across the cosmos. In a future where humanity is spread across multiple planets and star systems, this game could serve as a unifying pastime, fostering connections and friendly rivalries among space travelers. It's not just about winning chips, it's about sharing a moment of camaraderie in the vastness of space. Imagine the stories that could emerge from these tournaments. A rookie player from Earth outsmarting a seasoned pro from a colony on Proxima Centauri, or a tense final hand that goes down in galactic history. For spectators, intergalactic poker tournaments would be a spectacle unlike any other. Broadcasts could feature real-time commentary, player profiles, and even insights into the strategies being employed. The drama of each hand, combined with the backdrop of the cosmos, would create a viewing experience that's both thrilling and awe-inspiring. And let's not forget the potential for side bets and fantasy leagues, adding another layer of excitement for fans. As we look ahead, intergalactic poker represents more than just a game. It's a testament to humanity's ability to adapt and connect, no matter how far apart we are. It's a reminder that even in the vast expanse of space, we can find ways to come together, compete, and share in the joy of a well-played hand. And with that, let's turn our attention to the final prediction: space-based triathlons, where athletes push their limits in a unique combination of swimming, cycling, and running in microgravity environments. Now, let's dive into the ultimate test of human endurance and adaptability: space-based triathlons. Picture this: athletes floating in microgravity, pushing their bodies to the limit in a unique combination of swimming, cycling, and running. This isn't just a race, it's a groundbreaking challenge that redefines what it means to be an athlete in the cosmos. In a space-based triathlon, the traditional elements of the sport take on entirely new dimensions. Swimming, for instance, would occur in specially designed pools where water behaves differently in microgravity. Athletes would navigate through floating globules of water, using their entire bodies to propel themselves forward in a surreal, almost dreamlike environment. The lack of gravity would make every stroke and kick feel entirely different, requiring swimmers to adapt their techniques on the fly. Cycling in space would be equally revolutionary. Instead of pedaling on solid ground, athletes would use stationary bikes equipped with resistance mechanisms that simulate the effort of cycling on Earth. These bikes could be mounted on rotating platforms to create a sense of motion, adding an extra layer of challenge as athletes work to maintain their balance and rhythm in zero gravity. The physical demands would be immense, testing not just strength and stamina but also coordination and focus. Running, the final leg of the triathlon, would take place on treadmills designed for microgravity. Athletes would wear harnesses to keep them grounded, allowing them to simulate the motion of running while floating in space. The experience would be disorienting at first, as the lack of gravity removes the familiar sensation of impact with the ground. Runners would need to rely on their core strength and mental resilience to push through the discomfort and maintain their pace. What makes space-based triathlons so compelling is the way they challenge athletes to adapt to entirely new conditions. Every aspect of the race, from the way water moves to the mechanics of running, would require competitors to rethink their strategies and techniques. It's not just about physical fitness, it's about mental agility and the ability to thrive in an environment that's completely foreign to our earth-bound instincts. For spectators, these events would be nothing short of mesmerizing. Imagine watching athletes glide through water, pedal through the void, and run on floating treadmills, all against the backdrop of the Earth or the stars. The combination of cutting-edge technology and human determination would create a spectacle that's as inspiring as it is thrilling. Space-based triathlons represent the pinnacle of what humanity can achieve when we push the boundaries of possibility. They're a testament to our ingenuity, resilience, and unyielding drive to explore new frontiers. As we look to the future, these competitions could become a symbol of our ability to adapt and excel, no matter where we are in the universe. And with that, we've reached the end of our journey through the future of space-based sports and competitions, a future that's as exciting as it is limitless. As we marvel at the possibilities of space-based sports, it's crucial to address the challenges that come with pushing human limits beyond Earth. One of the most pressing concerns is safety. In the unforgiving environment of space, even the smallest oversight can have serious consequences. Microgravity, for instance, poses unique risks to athletes. Prolonged exposure can lead to muscle atrophy, bone density loss, and even changes in vision. Ensuring the health and well-being of competitors would require advanced medical monitoring and tailored training regimens to counteract these effects. Radiation is another significant hazard. Beyond Earth's protective atmosphere, athletes will be exposed to higher levels of cosmic radiation, which could increase the risk of long-term health issues like cancer. Shielding technologies and carefully planned schedules to minimize exposure would be essential, but these solutions add complexity and cost to hosting space-based events. Then there's the question of ethics. Should we be sending athletes into such a high-risk environment purely for entertainment? The potential for accidents or emergencies in space is far greater than on Earth, and rescue operations would be far more complicated. This raises important questions about the responsibility of organizers and the consent of participants. Athletes would need to be fully informed of the risks and equipped with the necessary skills to handle emergencies. But even then, the ethical implications of hosting competitions in such a dangerous setting cannot be ignored. Another ethical consideration is accessibility. Space-based sports would likely be limited to those with significant financial resources, at least initially. This could create a divide between those who can afford to participate and those who cannot, raising concerns about fairness and inclusivity. How do we ensure that these groundbreaking competitions don't become exclusive to a privileged few? Finally, there's the environmental impact to consider. Launching spacecraft and building infrastructure for space sports would require vast amounts of energy and resources, potentially contributing to space debris and other ecological challenges. Balancing the excitement of these events with the need to protect our planet and its orbit is a responsibility we cannot overlook. While the future of space-based sports is undeniably thrilling, it's clear that overcoming these challenges will require careful planning, innovation, and a commitment to ethical principles. Only by addressing these issues head-on can we ensure that these competitions are not only spectacular but also safe, fair, and sustainable for generations to come. Now, let's shift our focus to the technological innovations that will make space-based sports not just a dream, but a reality. At the heart of these advancements are propulsion systems that can transport athletes and equipment safely and efficiently into space. Traditional rocket technology is costly and resource-intensive, but breakthroughs in reusable rockets and ion propulsion systems are paving the way for more sustainable space travel. These innovations could drastically reduce the cost of launching and maintaining space-based sports infrastructure, making it more accessible in the long run. Life support technologies are equally critical. Athletes competing in space will need reliable systems to provide oxygen, regulate temperature, and manage waste in microgravity environments. Advances in closed-loop life support systems, which recycle air and water, could ensure that space habitats are self-sustaining and capable of supporting long-term competitions. Additionally, wearable health monitors and AI-driven medical systems could track athletes' vital signs in real time, providing immediate feedback and intervention if needed. Another game-changing innovation is the development of artificial gravity systems. By creating rotating habitats or using centrifugal force, we could simulate gravity, reducing the health risks associated with prolonged microgravity exposure. This would not only benefit athletes but also open up new possibilities for training and performance optimization in space. Materials science will also play a key role. Lightweight, durable materials are essential for constructing sports equipment and facilities that can withstand the harsh conditions of space. Imagine basketball hoops made from advanced polymers or tennis rackets engineered for zero-gravity play. These materials could revolutionize how sports are played, offering new levels of performance and safety. Finally, The integration of virtual and augmented reality could enhance both the experience of athletes and spectators. Athletes could use VR to simulate different gravity environments or practice in virtual arenas, while spectators on Earth could enjoy immersive broadcasts that make them feel like they are floating alongside the competitors. These technologies could bridge the gap between Earth and space, bringing the excitement of space-based sports to a global audience. These technological advancements aren't just about making space sports possible, they have the potential to benefit humanity as a whole. From improving space travel and habitat design to advancing medical and environmental technologies, the innovations driving space-based sports could have far-reaching impacts beyond the arena. As we push the boundaries of what's possible, we're not just creating a new frontier for sports, we're shaping the future of life in space. Now, let's take a moment to consider the cultural impact of space-based sports and how they could unite humanity in ways we've never seen before. Imagine a future where athletes from Earth, Mars, and even distant space colonies come together to compete in zero-gravity football or orbital marathons. These events wouldn't just be about winning medals, they'd be about celebrating our shared humanity and the incredible achievements we've made as a species. Space-based sports have the potential to transcend borders, languages, and even planetary divides. Picture a global audience tuning in to watch a lunar basketball game or an interplanetary relay race, cheering for their favorite teams regardless of where they're from. These competitions could become a universal language, fostering a sense of connection and camaraderie among people who might otherwise never interact. Moreover, space sports could inspire a new generation of dreamers and innovators. Watching athletes push the limits of human potential in the cosmos could ignite a passion for science, technology, and exploration in young minds across the world. It's not just about the thrill of the game. It's about showing what's possible when we work together and aim for the stars. This shared experience could also help us overcome cultural differences and build bridges between nations. Just as the Olympics have historically brought countries together, space-based sports could take that unity to a whole new level. Imagine the pride of seeing your planet's flag raised on a space station, or the joy of celebrating a victory that represents not just a team but an entire world. In a time when divisions often seem insurmountable, space sports could remind us of what we have in common. They could show us that, no matter where we come from, we're all part of something bigger, a species capable of incredible feats when we unite under a common goal. As we look to the stars, we're not just exploring new frontiers for sports, we're creating a future where humanity stands together, stronger and more connected than ever before. And with that, let's turn our attention to the final piece of the puzzle: how these predictions and innovations could shape the future of life beyond Earth, not just for athletes but for all of us. As we bring our journey through the future of space-based sports to a close, it's clear that the possibilities are as vast as the cosmos itself. From zero-gravity football to interplanetary relay races, each of these 25 predictions paints a picture of a future where sports transcend the boundaries of Earth, pushing human potential to new heights. These aren't just games, they're a testament to our ingenuity, our determination, and our shared desire to explore the unknown. Imagine a world where athletes soar through the stars, competing in events that challenge the very limits of what we thought was possible. Picture the thrill of watching a lunar basketball game, the awe of witnessing an orbital marathon, or the excitement of cheering on teams as they race across the solar system. These sports could redefine entertainment, inspire generations, and bring people together in ways we've only dreamed of. But beyond the spectacle, space-based sports represent something even greater: a vision of humanity united. They remind us that no matter where we come from, we're all part of the same cosmic story. Whether you're watching from Earth, Mars, or a distant space colony, these competitions could become a universal celebration of what we can achieve when we work together. So as we look to the stars, let's dare to dream big. Let's imagine a future where sports aren't just played on fields or courts, but in the vast expanse of space. A future where humanity thrives not just on Earth but among the stars. If you're as excited about this vision as we are, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on the latest explorations of futuristic technologies and lifestyles. Together, let's keep dreaming, keep exploring, and keep reaching for the stars. The future is out there, let's make it extraordinary.